The air in the Persian Gulf has never felt this heavy. It's a static hum, the kind you feel before a lightning strike. In the dimly lit corridors of the Pentagon, under the flicker of cathode ray monitors, a blueprint for the unthinkable is being finalized. While the world is distracted by the noise of the 24-hour news cycle, the silent movements of the USS Abraham Lincoln tell a different story. Non-essential personnel are vanishing from bases in Qatar. The sharks of the sky, the B-2 bombers, are being fueled in secret hangars. This isn't just a show of force, it is the gathering of a storm. We are looking at 400 kilograms of missing uranium, 3 corridors of death, and a geopolitical arithmetic that leaves no room for error. Today on Wikivedia Plus, we will analyze the 3 strategic paths Trump could use to strike Iran and the hidden golden hour that follows. Let's dive in. Imagine a world where the most dangerous substance on Earth simply disappears. During the last confrontation, the world was told the Iranian nuclear program had been set back. But behind the closed doors of intelligence briefings, a darker truth emerged. Around 400 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium went unaccounted for. This isn't just a ledger error, it is the seed of a nuclear arsenal. In the cold logic of Washington, as long as those atoms remain in the hands of the IRGC, the war is not over, it has merely been paused. We are now witnessing the transition from diplomacy to kinetic execution. The deployment of Patriot and THAAD systems across the region isn't a defensive posture. It's a preparation for the inevitable retaliation. The logistics are staggering. Heavy lift transporters are moving equipment into Jordan, while tanker aircraft, the lifeblood of any air campaign, are loitering in the eastern Mediterranean. It is a choreographed dance of destruction. To understand the coming strike, one must look at the map not as a collection of nations, but as a series of physical obstacles. Iran is a fortress of mountains and vast plateaus. It is not Iraq. It is not Libya. Tehran is tucked away, shielded by the Alborz Mountains, far from the reach of easy naval exfiltration. This geographical reality dictates the strategy. The Pentagon isn't planning a ground invasion that belongs to the history books of the early 2000s. Instead, they are looking at surgical, high-intensity strikes designed to decapitate the nuclear program and the security apparatus in one breath. The first path leads through the shadows of the Caucasus. Flying from bases in Europe, American B-2 Spirits could traverse the Black Sea, slipping through the narrow gaps between Georgian and Azerbaijani airspace. It is a route of immense risk. To the north lies the Russian Bear, whose radars could pierce the stealth veil and whisper warnings to Tehran. This corridor is a gamble of sovereignty versus necessity. Would the US violate international norms to achieve a surprise? In the 90s cinematic style of power politics, norms are often the first casualty of war. This is the path of the veteran, through Israel, Jordan, and the fractured skies of Iraq. It is a route tested by history, the same path used in previous operations against nuclear facilities. Here, the US doesn't need permission from Baghdad. They rely on the technical inability of the Iraqi state to even detect the F-35s and F-22s screaming overhead. With tanker aircraft already positioning in Jordan, this central corridor is the most likely highway for the first wave of Tomahawks and stealth penetrators. But while the world watches the sky, a different kind of war is brewing in the shadows of the internet. But wait, before we reveal the most devastating corridor and the secret role of the spectators, we must ask, is a strike on the leaders enough to collapse a system built on the philosophy of martyrdom? The answer lies in a strategy that hasn't been used since the Cold War. Then there is the southern route. The vast, lonely expanse of the Indian Ocean, from the base at Diego Garcia, the B-52 Stratofortresses can carry the GBU-57, the bunker buster that weighs 30,000 pounds. This route offers the ultimate freedom, no sovereign airspace to negotiate, no regional allies to appease. This is where the USS Abraham Lincoln sits, acting as a floating fortress of coordination. By hitting from the south, the US can bring a level of firepower that the northern and central routes simply cannot sustain. The sheer physics of the massive ordnance penetrator is terrifying. It is designed to punch through 200 feet of reinforced concrete before detonating. Fordo and Natans are deep, but they are not unreachable. What if the goal isn't just the nuclear sites? What if it's the throne itself? Here, the what-if scenario turns dark. The IRGC is not a traditional military, it is a state within a state. Targeting the supreme leader or the top generals might create a shock, but history teaches us that in Iran, martyrdom is a powerful fuel. A one-off strike would only rally the population around the flag. To achieve true regime change, the US would need a sustained campaign lasting weeks, a prospect that risks a global oil crisis and a total regional firestorm. The political machine in Tehran is highly institutionalized. If one head is cut off, the IRGC has contingency plans to consolidate control and appoint a successor before the smoke even clears. Perhaps the most chilling part of the blueprint isn't American at all, it is the Israeli contingency. While the world watches the US bombers, the Israeli Air Force is reportedly preparing for the golden hour. The moment the Iranian command structure is in disarray from a US strike, Israeli jets would move in not to change the regime, but to liquidate the military capacity of whatever comes next. They would target the drone factories, the missile silos, and the research labs, ensuring that even if a new government emerges, it is born without teeth. This is the Dagger strategy, using the American hammer to crack the shell, then using the Israeli needle to destroy the vitals. In this 90s-style docudrama of real-world power, there are no heroes, only interests. The spectators, Russia, China, and the regional monarchies are all calculating their moves. Russia monitors the skies, China stockpiles the oil. The Gulf states clear their bases, praying the Shahab-3 missiles land elsewhere. The evacuation of Al Udeid and Prince Sultan Air Base is the ultimate signal. You don't move thousands of troops and billions in equipment unless you expect the sky to fall. We are standing at the hinge of history. What happens in the next few months will not just change a border. It will redefine the energy markets, the alliance structures, and the very concept of deterrence in the 21st century. As the echoes of today's story fade back into the archive, we are left once again at the edge of the unknown. Thank you for journeying with us to the fringes of history and science. If these mysteries resonated with you, we invite you to support the channel by liking this video and subscribing to our growing community of seekers. Share this transmission on your social networks. Your curiosity is what keeps these stories alive. We will return soon with another chapter that was never meant to be told. Until our next encounter, stay curious. This is Wikivedia Plus.